Hey, it's Mega, aka the Art Messiah, here to save you from your art sins. Welcome back to another art and drawing stream where we come together, co-work, and work on projects. I am currently working on a webcomic that is somewhat of a fan work of a series called Mega Man Battle Network, and so I'm just working through pages on that. However, in this series, even though it is a fan work, there's a lot of original characters and a lot of original world building, so some of the pages that you see will have familiar elements, but it might have some new stuff as well. But anyways, I want to start off this stream by just checking the audio real quick. Okay, so it seems like the audio level is okay. I'm checking it on my phone right now. But yeah, I guess just to get started, I do apologize for missing last week's stream. Life always is busy, and I just was not able to make that happen. But I am back again this week to continue working and providing a chill stream for you guys to come in and work on your projects, animations, comics, whatever you got going on, homework, even if you're in college or high school. Just a way to kind of gather people together and kind of hold everyone, I guess it's a little bit of accountability, but more so just they call it body doubling, when basically if there's someone around you working, then you're more inspired and motivated to work on some of the things that you might want to work on yourself. So again, that's the whole purpose. I'm going to try to keep consistent with the streams, but I am going to be moving more into like the silent stream realm, where I will probably just be texting on my phone, because it's a little bit easier for me, rather than having to plan out what I'm going to say like stream to stream and what I would like to teach. At this point in time, I really just want to, get to making comics and providing that co-working space. So we will just turn the music up and we'll kind of get right to it. But of course, we'll use the chat to just check in with each other, see how projects are going and whatnot. And if you have any questions, as always, about my process, whether it be writing or drawing or coloring or toning or brushes or making music, whatever you might want some additional feedback on, just let me know. But with that being said, we're going to just go ahead and start working, because time passes really quickly, and we're going to try to work to about 10 today, so that gives us about an hour and a half. I absolutely need to at least finish this page, because I've already ran through my buffer for uploading my webcomic to my site, unfortunately. But I'm hoping to build that buffer back up again. I already have 3 pages mostly done, so that'll cover the next 3 weeks, and I already have the entire prologue plus first 2 chapters thumbnailed out, so I feel like I'm in a good place to kind of pick back up and just get going. One of the things that should be easier over time is just figuring out exactly how I want to render and how I want to tone and all those things, but we'll give myself some time to really have that settle in. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to stop talking via the mic and switch over to chat. I'm also going to make sure I post this stream just to my Instagram and any other place where people check in to see if a stream is happening or not. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to get right to work. So welcome in, everyone. so we're gonna set the screen dots to 60 dpi. Now if you're in Clip Studio Paint and you're wondering how to do screen tones when you are just doing black and white and you're doing it for comics, there's an effects layer panel window that you can use. If you don't have it to the side like I've set it, I think if you go into window and click on layer property, that will bring it up, and then you can change your layer to render screen tones specifically. So what I'm going to do right here is use similar colors that I've already used before. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into this DPI layer. We're just going to turn off the dot so that way we can do a quick screen grab. And I guess we'll do 2 colors at a time, so we'll do his hair as well. But yeah, once, as you see, as I turn the screen tones off, it doesn't have to be perfectly clean. As long as things are legible, I think you'll be okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead and start rendering. Yeah, this is more of a co-working type stream. I don't really do free art here, but you're more than welcome to stick around and learn how to make your own art so you can do it for free. And I will give you all the tips, tools, and tricks to do so. Okay, we're gonna switch up to some Genshin Impact music. As you guys already know, I like the orchestral score that they have produced for this game. And yeah, don't mind some of the technical jargon that I be throwing out. If you don't do digital art, that's completely fine. I like to have my hand in a little bit of both. I am finding that I can work a little bit quicker digitally for some things, like this toning process. If I were to do this by hand, I would probably spend a majority of the day cutting out screen tones. And also I would have to be ordering them a lot. But I do have some screen tones. Actually, last time me and my wife were in Japan, I picked up some from this really cool art store that had just honestly like a whole bunch of stuff. But one of the sections, they had a whole bunch of like screen tones and whatnot, and it was kind of cool to just actually see that being sold in a store, because you can't find stuff like that in the US. Maybe at like a larger city, maybe you could find something like that, but yeah, anywho, let's do that. Hey, welcome in. Blue Dragon. I'm just here for the vibes. I'm not gonna probably talk much, but also working late tonight. Well, hey, there's no pressure to talk. I was actually saying at the beginning of the stream that I would mostly just try to chat through the text boxes, and just provide the music and hopefully the artwork, and just seeing stuff be completed is a great way to motivate yourself to just be working on things, or just have some background audio. That's what I always do. So I feel like streams are probably going to get just like more and more chill over time, as I have many pages to get through in order to illustrate this story. It's probably going to be like a 600-page kind of beast. Screen tones are crazy to me. I might have to try them out for myself. I think screen tones can add like just a really cool, I guess, like texture, like stylistic texture that just kind of evokes I don't know, like newspaper print, like magazines and comics. And I think it can, not like guaranteed, but I think it can add a bit to your work, even if it's used a lot or used sparingly in just certain locations. Um, to answer your question, Blue Dragon, I did kind of start talking about what I was working on a little bit earlier, but I do not mind kind of doubling back on it since there's a few new people here. So growing up, I used to play this game called Mega Man Battle Network, and it's basically a game in which you have like a digital avatar on your phone, and you use that to kind of explore the internet and like fight viruses and whatnot. And so it's like a mix between, it's like an RPG like Pokemon almost, but with real-time battles. And so along with that game, they also created like an anime and also a manga. And actually I was introduced to the series through the manga. And even though it was very, I should say maybe like lighthearted or like very, I mean it's a kid's show, but I was also reading things like Full Metal Alchemist stuff at the time, so like it didn't really have the same weight as like those series and the same amount of like storytelling. But even then I thought the concept was really cool, and I thought the characters were really cool. And so at the time when I was younger, I wanted to create a fan work based off of it. So back in the day when I was in like junior high, I started like doing concept art for a main character and writing the story, and I started drawing pages. But I just kind of let it go to the side, and since I'm currently taking a little bit of a break from Ignition because the next piece that I have for it is like, it's going to be a lot of work and it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited to work on it again, but I just can't do it while I'm working full time. So I am working on this like side project, picking up this project that I was doing way back in the day to give it its ending and to finish it, because one thing that I want to be good at is like finishing the things that I start with, and I want to start building like the trust with my well, there's a couple people that I want to build trust with. First and foremost is trust of myself, so that I can, feel confident that when I begin on something that I'm going to go and finish it towards completion, and that I have the mindset and the tools and the environment in order to get me from the starting point to the ending point, and I can trust myself to like finish what I start. And then also I want to build that trust with my audience and like the readers as well. So if they start reading the story and they like it, I don't know, exactly how it'll be finished, but I want them to trust that they will get the full story in one way or the other. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on and why I'm working on it. Whoa, 21 pages, nice. Very cool, very cool. Always happy to hear and see people working on things that they're passionate about, and being able to complete them. Okay, I'm going to put down this mic again for a little bit. As I continue to tone this stuff. I feel like, again, you know what I can do here? I think there's just too much tone right here. Let's increase my brush size, and like, I think if we do something like this, it's gonna look good. It's hard to finish stuff. Definitely a great goal to work on something shorter to build that muscle. Yeah, definitely that part. The struggle is real, yo. Yeah, when you have a long running series, because like you have a long running series, right, Blue? When you're in a long running series, and I guess sometimes the light at the end of the tunnel is like just getting to the end of that chapter. But yeah, it can be a bit daunting. So sometimes it's nice to have like shorter projects. And if you guys don't know or have not participated in Blue Dragon, puts together, and what's the word I'm looking for? But yeah, she pretty much brings together the Comic Fury zine, both in the summer and in the winter, and it's a great time to kind of flex that muscle of starting something and finishing something, but within a certain time frame, so you can start to develop, that sense of confidence in yourself that, hey, I know that I can start something and I can finish something, just so you know that it's possible. And again, like she said, build that muscle. Check out her channel, and check out the zine. We're starting to, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to start opening up applications maybe around the beginning of April, I think, for the summer zine. But if you guys want to start making pages for it and whatnot, you can start now, I think. So we have information about that on Comic Fury. Strike while the iron is hot. I couldn't say better myself. As soon as that idea hits your head, either try to jot it down, draw it out, whatever the case may be. I have just so many notes, so many pages of things, but it's great to have that, because when you're putting something together, then you can just draw in from all those times you had those sparks of imagination and creativity and passion, because sometimes you're gonna forget where you're coming from, what your motivation is, and why you're doing what you're doing. And sometimes those notes and those brief hints of purpose and motivation can help you get back into the mindset that maybe you were at beforehand, and it's maybe something in your life is kind of throwing you off of what you were trying to do, or not even what you were trying to do, but you just may be so busy with work that you completely lose sight of a goal you may have had, or something like that. So yes, strike while the iron is hot. Could not agree more. And yeah, honestly, I think that's the best art. Some of the best art, you really have to cross over into the quote unquote cringe or dumb or vulnerable. You have to break the mold of what society expects. You have to break the mold of what you expect. And if you don't want eyeballs on it, that's totally fine. But strike while the iron is hot and put it aside. Share it if you want to, or share it with people that understand your art endeavors. But art is about breaking free from held beliefs, or societal held beliefs, to think more deeply about things and pick apart how you feel about certain things. And again, it doesn't have to be something really deep or philosophical, but it just allows you to observe life with a new perspective. Okay, so I like that layer. We're gonna add another layer on top. I think we'll just use 60 DPI for now again, but I'm gonna start rendering in the background more, I believe. So let's try giving this a shot. I might try using a watercolor brush. Let's see what happens.
That's why I love the moon. Every night it's there for you. It's constant. Unlike these human beings who lie about what it seems to be. You think the earth is where you stand. You're in the palm of someone's hand. And that's why I love the moon. 'Cause it's always there for me. Every night about my window. And that's why I love the moon. 'Cause it's always there for me. Every single night I look outside. It's right there for me in my mind. And that's why I love you, yeah. Because people can consume my love in the wrong way. So I send it up and night, and night, and night. Real love so hard to find. Just when you think you found it, the innocence in your eyes it blinds. So be careful where you look for love. Just be careful where you look for love. Real love so hard to find. Just when you think you found it, the illusions in your eyes it blinds us all. So be careful where you look for love. Just be careful where you look for love. Yo, that's why I let the moon shine. 'Cause through the time I've been confused on how to move. Stuck in between what wasn't and what could be the truth. Huh? Still up trying to escape the demons in my room. You see, it's no change, driving me learn to maintain. And how can anybody else prepare when they brainwashes and watches every time we make exchanges and slaves? Locked in a box of views, I find just to escape on the same shit. I'm tired of the pain, love is blind to the flame. That's why I look up, never hide behind the skies in the rain. Promises keep them exercising, but they lie you the pain. That's why I look for ways to find whatever lies in the rain. This shit changed. I don't blame my father for lamping. I believe that help. What I'm trying to grow is just simply trying to grow as myself. So understand it when I'm stranded, taking chances. Know I need that full. Flat on my back, just relax and keep your seat back. 'Cause when you think, that's when you let time run and escape with your mind, loving, that's what you think.
how to render this. This is supposed to be a waterfall, and we're supposed to be kind of on the inside, and I think I should keep it pretty light. But I don't know if I should keep the high contrast or if I should add in a little bit of tone. I'm kind of trying to figure this out on the spot right now. Yeah, maybe I need his advice again. So these waterfalls right here looked pretty bad before. I feel like they could still use some work, but I think they could at least be identified as waterfalls now. And that was only because of his advice that he gave me. So it came in clutch. I'll probably get his opinion after the stream. I'm just gonna try to stay in the flow, do my best, and then do a little bit of research and stuff afterwards. Just trying to maintain that confidence within myself that I know best. Even if I don't know best, it's fine. I'm just gonna try something first. Yeah, this is gonna need some work. I already know it's gonna need some work, but I think that'll be okay for now. Why? This is colorful. Set to colorful. Got that? Okay. Oh, you know why? That's because this is drawn all the way up on this some top layer. I'm not sure which layer it is. Where are my... Oh, there's my word balloons. So I would have to put it pretty much above my word balloons if I want some tone here. But the problem with that is that I can... let's see here. Thank you. I appreciate the encouragement, and he's saying the pages are coming out decent, or they're coming out well. With writing and doing comics, sometimes it can be hard to keep that confidence in yourself that you are good enough as an artist, that you are good enough as a writer. And it's always that fine balance, because you want to be a little bit hard on yourself so that you continue to grow, but there also needs to be a point in time in which you do feel good about the work that you're creating and are confident that you can create it. For sure. Yeah, definitely having your crew, your tribe is essential. It gives you the balance that you need.
I'm sure what's all in the division. You say you're small and love with the mission. You're tired of moving, your body's thinking. You could vacate
Okay, so typically when someone's like looking down and has like a worried expression, what I have seen before is like having some like heavier tones at the top of it to kind of show this feeling of like a gravity and like weight. Okay, I'm gonna try something maybe drastic, just because I want to try it out. What if we make this literally just pure, like all black? Let's see what happens. See if we can get away with that. I do feel like with that being kind of black like that, it does add some more like weight to the page. It makes the page more like readable, I guess. But we're also gonna try this technique out where I do more of like a gradient kind of thing. So in order to do that, and also I'm not worried about the tone going outside of the lines or anything like that, because this is all going to be masked at the end of the day, so it'll look good. It'll be fine. I just need to get the artwork done.
Tell me what you thinking, it's become an issue. Never really got to taste your max potential. You was moving faster, though I hardly meant it. Last the way it happens,
What I want to use is like a ruler, so it's not ruler, it's not the grid, it's not the special ruler. I think there should be like, yeah, here's a ruler button. Symmetrical ruler, linear ruler, curved ruler, ruler pen. I don't even know what some of these things mean. I'm not even gonna lie, but okay, so we created a guide, so, oh no. So what does that mean, that I have a guide now? That didn't do anything. I think a guide, oh, it's only for that line, okay. So we're gonna remove that. Let's try the linear ruler maybe. I don't know if this is what I want, but no. Okay, so now that we have the ruler in, will it? I'm pretty sure there's like parallel line. Maybe this is what I want. Yeah, I think this is what I wanted. Okay, so now basically any line that I draw, it will automatically like snap it to the thing. And this is like some of the crazy things that you can do with digital tools now, which you can do this traditionally too. You know, I mean, you can just literally get a ruler and kind of move down and do your brush strokes. But there are some helpful things that you can use here. So we're gonna do that, and this is a moment where this character is just feeling a little bit pensive. Okay, and so what we can do now is we can take off this ruler somehow. I don't remember how to take off a ruler, to be honest with you. I think we can probably link ruler to layer, show ruler. Okay, so I think if I don't show it, then I can use my pen exactly how I want it to again. We're gonna set this layer to, there used to be, I think maybe I need to, there we go. There it is. Change that to blue. And the reason that we're doing that is that we can erase while clearly seeing what we need to see. And so we're just gonna do that. I know, right? It's super useful. I feel like Clip Studio Paint really shines in the adding comic effects. It's just like night and day over using something like Photoshop. But I think, and if I'm not mistaken, you already do this, but it works well with starting off traditionally and then doing your effects in Clip Studio Paint to speed up certain things that you're just not comfortable with doing traditionally, whether that be like your lettering or the balloons or screen tone, special effects. I think it's a great tool in that regards, until you either get comfortable with it traditionally or maybe it just works out forever to just use the Clip Studio tools. But yeah, I really like the rulers that they have. I think that's really neat and really helpful. Okay, so then we can just turn this layer back to black and then you have that. So I think that looks pretty cool. So here's with the whole panel being black, which I think is a bit too much. It makes it look like he's in somewhere like really dark. And I think this just kind of shows a little bit more of like, oh, this is like, you know, more of like a pensive, like sad kind of moment. Without it being too extreme. And if I wanted to make it even less extreme, I might just use some screen dots to denote tone, which I might change it to. But I think that looks okay for now. The last thing I'm going to do with this page is probably add some tone in this first panel as well, or at least some background detail or something like that, just to get a sense of place. But I think I will keep it abstract because I want this last panel to be like the central point focus, and I want people to get all the like background information from that panel itself. And I don't want to overload the readers with too much detail up front. So let's just, I don't know, let's experiment some.
On the day you told me up, baby. You don't wanna take care of me. I'm so gone at conclusion, foregone and confuse you. Wearing war zone and storm on. I'm ready to go home. I'm ready for your baby. Comb my hair out so don't drag. I just want hair rub. I don't wanna mistake. I just wanna mess up. I just wanna get gone from my spot again. But do the odds working? I favor stay down. I'm skate time. Head low and face down like a cattle greyhound. Doing God's work in the devil's playground. I never thought it'd be this. I'm jumping out of your arms. I let it fall in the pit. Is this what they call the abyss? I fought and clawed for an inch, turning a miracle mile. I could recall when your lips used to contort in the smiles, bright as the sun, just drawn in eclipse. I haven't seen light in a while, hasn't been bright in a while. I've been trying to stand tall, I hope that you stand with me. You know all the great fall, shit is all the same. How does they fall? Next day, kinda rain, gotta stay calm. Press play, put my heart in all of these songs. Display all of these wrongs, yeah, part of me is gone. And you are a gift in itself, a measure of wealth, the meaning is selfless. I place you over the shelf and hide in pedestals over the belt. And straddle the waist on the rhymes constellation. Observation of you, here come the truth, I'm most overdue. Stuck over you, I've gone under. Living proof of God's wonders. Risk, I never thought it'd be this. I'm jumping out of your arms. I let it fall in the pit. Is this what they call the abyss? I fought and clawed for an inch, turning a miracle mile. I could recall when your lips used to contort in the smiles, bright as the sun, just drawn in eclipse. I haven't seen light in a while, hasn't been bright in a while.
I am struggling. I don't know what I want to do with this first panel, really. I really don't know what I want to do with this first panel, actually. What if I like really go off track with it and just like add in these like just dots or something? I don't know. Don't like it. Do not like it, man. I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. It's a bit lazy, but sometimes in art you just have to keep moving. One thing that I want to try here though is that I want to this could maybe benefit from having some like thick lines maybe.
It's been 3 whole weeks since I saw your face. And girl, I need you here when I call your name. Yeah. 'Cause I get high when I think about love. I get high when I think about us. Don't know why, but I've been holding on so long. Now I can be your G, and you can be my baby. 'Cause it feels so real. This can't be fake. I get high when I think about love. I get high when I think about us. Don't know why, but I've been holding on so long. I just wanna make you
Yo, welcome in, Nintendsic Markham. Welcome in. Yeah, every week we come in and we just co-work together and chat and catch up with one another and listen to some music together and yeah, just kick it. But anyways, how is it going tonight? For you or day, I'm not sure where at in the world you may be, but hopefully things are going well. Ah, dang, they got you on the night shift. Well, good luck. Good luck with the work. Hopefully it goes by quick. Unless it's something that you enjoy. And in that case, I hope it enjoyable, but I know most people's work isn't necessarily their passion, but when it is, I think it works out perfectly. Okay, so I think I kind of forgot what I was going to do next here. Also, feel free, like, for those of you that are artists in here or creative people in any endeavor, feel free to leave either a link or something like that so other people can check out your work, including myself. I do believe some of you have a profile on YouTube where people can probably find information, but if you guys want to throw in, either social media account or a website or just something where people can find your work and follow along, I think that'd be pretty cool. by video game remixes, do you mean like soundtrack remixes, or do you mean something else? Like, do you take like a video game and like reskin it and like retexture it? So I think I'm gonna switch to working on my website, guys, for the last like 20 minutes. And we will probably end it after that. So yeah, we're gonna work on the website a little bit and then end it for this week. So let's bring this up. Okay, here we go. So here's my website that I'm starting to work on. Feel free to bookmark it. If you have Comic Fury, you can subscribe for updates, but not necessary. So yeah, I've been working on this for a little bit, and I want to add maybe a few more things. So I did add like this little note section right here where it'll update based on like what I'm doing, which I thought is kind of cool. Add some life to the page. I do also have a community section, which I'm trying to just continue to make it look nicer, but I'm basically gonna have like fan art here. I'm gonna have any commissions that I've done for people up here, and then I have like a poll right here, but I want to make this section kind of like an interactive area where people can either like engage with like little things here and there, or there might be like a little music box or something. I just want to make this community section kind of just like a fun place to see what's new and what's happening. I also have a blog where I'm posting works in progress and final pages and concept art, and also reblogging other people's work as well that might be into the Battle Network fandom. So we have that section, and then I just created this about section, which I'm gonna in the end replace like this official logo with my own work, obviously, because that is a trademark, but I wanted to just have some stand-ins and kind of figure out how I want the flow of the page. That looks cool. Thank you, I appreciate that. So what I kind of want to add / update today is just making everything look a little bit better, a little bit more coherent. Probably changing out the font of this up here so it gels with everything. Probably changing out this banner as well. I have some ideas, and I'll go ahead and show that, but let me, instead of opening new files and stuff, let me go ahead and just switch off for just a second to the be right back screen, which I'm still going to be right here, but just so I can open up the artwork that I want to share, where I have some ideas for, which I believe, I don't know what it would be. It's tile, it's not that, probably either 480 or this. Yeah, it's this one. So let's bring this over. Okay, and then let's 474 as well, maybe. Oh yeah, some concept art that I've been doing. Perfect, and then we'll come back to that. There it is. Okay, so we will bring this back into view. Okay, so Nice. Website's coming along. Looks great. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've been doing a lot of like research into other people's websites and understanding what I like, and what I may try to learn from like design wise and stuff. And so just late last night, I decided to kind of concept this out a little bit more. And this is kind of what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking I might do, with just like the overall kind of look for this. But yeah, again, I want to draw inspiration from the games, of course, and from the manga, and I want it to feel like you're like stepping into like this new world of being on the internet and this era of the internet that looks different from how we envision the internet. So I thought it would be a nice tie-in for the website to kind of maybe showcase a little bit more of like the creative side of the internet. So that's what I'm currently working on. You ain't show me this. Well, I literally was working on this, I think, last night. So this is this is some brand new stuff. So yeah, here's the sections that I have. But I will post a link to it because the site is live. Even as I edit it, it is always live. So whether that be for the better or worse. But I'll put it in the chat so you guys can click around, and maybe if you feel so inclined, feel free to give me feedback and suggestions. I can't necessarily incorporate or fix everything. As you guys know, working on a website is tough. It's hard work, and making sure the HTML and stuff is correct can be a pain. So yeah, but anyways, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and feedback on it. Oh, gotcha. You're good. It's all good. Okay, so one of the things I want to do is I want to add in, I actually have a Mega Man Battle Network. I actually have a whole thing on YouTube. It's like a playlist. But anyways, I have something uploaded to Bandcamp that is a Mega Man Battle Network remix. So when you were talking about video game remixes, Nintendo, I was pretty interested to hear, so I'm gonna check out your channel because that sounds really cool. I like doing video game music remixes myself, so let's go ahead and put a pause on that for a second. And this is a song that I'm gonna add an embed to the website. So this is from the Mega Man Battle Network game, and in this case, I always want to be very clear, like when I do compositions and when I borrow compositions. In this case, this composition it's like a MIDI rip from the game, but I chose every instrument that I wanted to play every part. Then I also added some delays, effects, reverb, and then I add in a couple of my own. Sometimes like melodies, or just change things out or remove an instrument. But in this case, I wanted it to feel exactly like the original, but just to have like a very more ambient feeling, which would be perfect for like whether you're working on coding or whatever the case may be. But I think it's going to go well with the website. So let's try to embed that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can go to an individual track, and then through here you can click on embed. You can choose what type of embed you want. In this case, I'm just going to go for a standard one like this. You can choose your theme. I think we're going to do that. We will show the we will show that. So this iframe is good. It says it will automatically scale between its minimum and maximum, so it really just depends on what parent div I'm going to put this into. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to editing the page. I think where I'm going to add it in first is I'm going to add it into my pages, so that way if people want to play the music while browsing the pages. But you know what, I'm going to add it into the community first just to make sure the embed works correctly. So let me go ahead and jump into the HTML here, and I will show you guys how you can do this in case you ever want to do some embedding of yourself. This is the easiest because it's giving you all the code you need pretty much. You just need to place it where you want to place it. So we're gonna go in here. I'll bring this over to here so you guys can see. We're gonna go into our community page. And we want this to be showcased. Yeah, it is really fun to just, it's also, okay, so let me finish that. First of all, it's really fun to do the instrument replacements and see the track be built up layer by layer. But also, like, I create a lot of my own compositions. Like, this song right here is my own composition, and I'm going to play through my playlist so you can see a little bit more of it. Like, I create all the melodies, all the drum tracks, just everything from scratch. But it is really cool to do MIDI like instrument replacements, because I feel like you get to learn how other people arrange their music, and I've learned a lot by doing that. It's not my favorite thing to do because I like to have just creative control and be able to just create whatever I want to create, but it is like when you want to just mess around and have fun and be able to hear something compelling, and also just work on your mixing and understanding which instruments are going to sound good for what. Like, there's a lot of learning you can actually do just from trying that out. Okay, so here we go. We are in here. I am quickly going to see where I want to place this. I want to put it right underneath this pole for now. I'm going to work with placement later, but for now I want it underneath here. So we have the start of the div, end div, form, over, and then the end of this div. And that's because I have a container div for that pole. So we're going to throw in the embed right here, and we're going to go ahead and submit because I just want to show you guys that it is going to show up. And see, you can see that it shows up. Now, if I want to play around with the positioning of it, I can create a parent div, which is basically going to be a container for this, and then I can center that container. I can resize it to what I want it to be so that it displays how I want it. So for example, like, I want this centered, I won't want this to be so long, but you can already see if you click play, it'll go ahead and start working. Okay, so we're gonna use this. We're gonna create this parent div by doing that and this. We're gonna copy the poll div because I already know it's centered, and I'll show you the CSS for that, but I just wanted to show you guys. Oh, that's weird. It should work, but hold on. Hold on. We got frame style, width, height, 42 pixels, seamless, da 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 da. Okay. Let's look at our CSS real quick. Display, flux, justify content. Why does it keep on stopping? I like that. Hey, is this the one you used in Ignition? Yeah. Not all of these tracks here are in Ignition yet, but a lot of them are. And so if you want to listen to the album, you can always come over here. It's free. I don't even think I've set up a price to it. I think you can maybe even download it for free, or you can like pay what you want. Yeah, name your price. But I just call these beat snacks. They're basically just little musical doodles. And yeah, I used them in my story. Okay, so actually display flex, justify content center, inline item center. It should, unless maybe I didn't refresh or submit correctly. Div class container poll, the iframe was within that, so it should center. And why it's not is interesting, but anyways, we can go into developer tools and we can always inspect our elements. And so we want to take a look at this. Okay, so here's our div container poll, and I think I see what's going on, but let's kind of figure out. So that iframe is basically trying to expand and take up that whole width, even if it can't take up the whole width. And I think that's the problem in and of itself. So I think what we will want to do is set the iframe width. So either that, or I need to set the parent div's width to what I need. Man, it's really struggling playing this music. So we'll go back to Spotify for now. Okay, so I believe, I could be totally wrong with this, but say for example, we want this container poll to have a maximum width maybe it's just max width. There it is. And we want to set that to 500 pixels, let's say, for now. Let's see. Okay, so it changes both of them because they both have the same thing. Anyways, so we don't want to set a max width in this case, but anyways, you can see how that kind of worked out. So we're gonna make a new CSS class called container and this is for music, so we'll say container music this time. Container music. Okay. And when we come down here, we'll change this to container music. Instead of saying 100%, I really could just set whatever pixel width I want it to be at, regardless. And when I submit that, then it centers it like it was supposed to, because now this element right here isn't trying to fill in the entire space. So I can even make that smaller, maybe like 400 or 300 pixels. So let's change that. Maybe the first one I'm calling. Figure it out, yeah. You'll be the first one I'm thinking. I for woman the water and in the life that you gave me. Truly and honest, sacrifice superficial. Yeah, and that's the nice part. I mean, like, you can do anything with music. Like, you can start at any level, go as deep or as shallow or as. And again, it's like there's a lot of creativity in doing MIDI replacement. And I have a lot of fun with that. You know, it just depends like what kind of creative session I'm trying to have, and whether I'm creating something like for my story, or if I want to create something, you know, just based on a IP or a video game, or you know, just something that I really enjoy and I just want to do my own take on it, you know. So there's no right or wrong. Okay, cool. So I just made it the same width as the pole, so that looks pretty good. And then I think I'm going to take off the padding for it because it just doesn't need it, at least the top and bottom padding. The other padding doesn't need either, so I'm just going to take off the padding in general. But yeah, I'm going to take a look at your channel after I get through this stuff. Container music, padding. This can be just 0, so we'll just say 0. I guess we could say pixels, I don't know. So we come back over here, that'll zoom up closer. But yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about putting like music on like each page, which like may not be a bad thing if people want to click play, but I'm thinking people are gonna read through it too fast to actually have the music going on in the background. That's just my thought for now. When I get better at the piano, we can collab on an EP. Let's do it. That sounds like a ton of fun. I love I love collabing with music. I feel like it's, I don't want to say easy. Music it feels so immediate. Like art is somewhat immediate. Like as soon as you start putting pencil to paper, you can start seeing lines. But there's just like an immediacy to like sitting in front of the piano or guitar, whatever the case may be, and like immediately being able to play a song. That is kind of refreshing because drawing can be a really lengthy process. In any case, let's do that whenever you want to. Whenever is good. All right. I don't even know if I really need padding in general. I'm gonna take the padding off and just see what it looks like and stack these boxes on top of each other. And then I don't think I'm gonna do this on stream. I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. I don't think I'm gonna do this on stream, but I am gonna try to incorporate this kind of look. It's very rough, and it's just for, sometimes you just need to get the overall like design look. And I think the overall design look is good, but I'm gonna replace this with an actual like digital clock that's going to be animated to give some life there. And then I think we're gonna also have this custom bar do the blinking animation, and we're gonna add in probably my social media icons and maybe like right here. And so yeah, that should be fun, but that is gonna take a minute, and yeah, I'm gonna do it off stream because I just have a little bit more focus when I'm off stream. When I'm on stream, I'm just kind of aware that, we're in like a co-working setting. But when I really need to like lock in, I need to like just have that, I don't know, I guess like mental clear space so that I can hum and, I don't know, just, it's not the same as being on stream and you're like talking through things. Okay, anyways, so I was just gonna take off the padding, I believe, just to see what it looked like. And then I think we're gonna probably end it there. So if you guys have any last things that you would like to say before we wrap up, put it down in the comments. Again, if you guys have social media, websites, just things for people to follow along with their work, please post in a link. I don't think there should be any kind of like ban or anything. I think you guys should be free to post links. All right, so we're gonna take off the padding for that as well, and then we're gonna refresh the page. Yeah, just kind of keep that all together. But yeah, I don't know. I really like it so far. I think, to continue to make the design fun and engaging. So I'm gonna keep just messing around. Well, yeah, I've been told by my family and also my wife that I hum too much and that it's also loud, but it's one of those things that helps me focus, so. I try to keep it in check, but I am a chronic hummer. Well, yeah, thanks for joining me. It was nice to have some company as well while I worked, and to just hear how things were going with y'all. And as always, best of luck to projects and stories and music and other artistic endeavors that you may be working on. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And until next time, peace, love, and deuces.